The first job would be Red Robin Gourmet Burgers. I worked there for 2 years from 2018 to 2020. And the pros of this job are definitely the wages. Considering that you're slinging burgers, I made really good money. And the wages are really good. And during spring training, the wages are phenomenal. You make during lunch what you make normally on a Friday night. So that's good. And you only work like 4 hours if you do lunch, because that's all that was scheduled before PM comes in. And the management was really good. This place had the lowest turnover I've ever, in any establishment I've ever worked at. I think we're at like 1%. And for the restaurant industry, that is amazing, because normally it's, sometimes it's over 100% turnover. It's usually insane. So they have a high retention rate because the management is that good. They're really personable, and you can go to them about anything, and they work with you with anything. And the scheduling, you can either extremely flexible, and everything is done on one of the apps, so you can access your schedule. Oh, and they have a Facebook trading page, and you can go on there and you can trade shifts and give them up. And as long as your shift's covered, you're good. But you still got to notify management, because otherwise it gets a little bit crazy. I need one more. Side work. Side work is really easy. Unless Nicole's there, because then it's crazy. But normally it's really easy, and they're really laxed on it. But you have to get signed out before you leave and everything else. So those are the pros of working at Red Robin. The cons of working at Red Robin. To go with the first one, which was the scheduling, the guest satisfaction surveys are so important that you get labeled each week. And if you're not in green and yellow, which means you'd be in red, you cannot pick up shifts, you cannot trade shifts, you cannot do anything. However, if they want you to work for them, you can, of course you can work for them, because they need you. And when you need to come up with your rent, they don't care. But that's not true, because they do care if they like you. As long as they like you, you'll be able to pick up shifts no matter what color you are, which is ridiculous. And the lack of accountability. Now, a schedule to me is not a recommendation. It's not a suggestion. You're supposed to be there at a set time. And when you're not, there should be consequences. However, that is not so at Red Robin. If you are scheduled to open on a weekend, there's one other person that's scheduled to be there at 11 when we actually open. And when they're late, and they're always late, you have a rush at the door, line people waiting, so you could have up to 20 guests, because there's a lot of parties on the weekend. So you have a table of 6, another table of 6, a table of 4. It's done. It's a wrap, because you can only be so many places at one time. Oh, and now they have, total negative, they have server assistants instead of bussers. So now you have to tip them out. I believe it's 30%. And because they use the handhelds, the server now takes the order and puts it in the handheld. And then that's the only contact, as far as I know, that's the only contact they have at the table. They will reorder the drinks as needed, and the fry fills, because they're bottomless fries, another nightmare. And the server assistants then bring it out. So you only have so much interaction with your table. So you lose the ability to wow your table, to make that tip bigger. It's gone. That's gone. So good luck with that. That's why nobody's going back, because there's no such thing as holidays. There's no such thing as overtime. There's no such thing of any of that. Another con would be the doubles. Like, okay, when during spring training, like I said, that you can make so much money, they also will have you pick up, because there is they need you. They need bodies on the floor during spring training, because we're that busy. However, they don't regulate it, because you should not be working at that high of a level for that long period of time. There's a reason why servers work 4 hours, because the mind cannot handle it. Now, I've never been broken. I mean, I've worked everywhere. However, during one of the spring trainings, I was broken. I went in the back and I actually cried, and I don't cry, but a lot of people do cry. It's a very sensitive community, the servers. And it was horrific. It was just, there was so much. And some guy just looked at me like I was stupid. And normally I don't care, but this time it was too much. It was overwhelming. So you need to self-regulate, but it's hard when there's that much money on the table. I mean, you could literally walk away with $400 in one day.